Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Pure Nintendo podcast. This is your weekly dose of all things Nintendo. My name is Gemma, and joining me this week for our final episode of 2025, I have my two excellent friends. Welcome back, Kirk. How are you, Kirk?
I am doing very well. I hope everyone had a very happy holiday season.
Yes,
Although I
yes,
guess it's
indeed.
not done yet. We have one more to go.
We
One
do,
more.
we do. And welcome back, Trev. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm glad to be back. I've been looking forward to this episode in particular because,
Yeah,
yeah, end of the year, exciting to look back and
absolutely.
reflect.
Yes, it's our Game of the Year episode. We're going to count down our top 10 games of 2025. And it's been such a big year. I mean, Switch 2 obviously came out. There's just been so many games. I'm really excited for this episode as well. I know you guys are. We do this every year. I like that we save this till the end of the year. I think, everyone else has kind of already done theirs, and this is now our time to do ours. And it's as close to the end of the year as you can get. So it's a proper 2025 send off, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it's going to be
And
super
I
fun.
I needed to do it because a couple of the games I just received. So
Exactly, exactly. Yes, and I'm very excited to see where they end up on your list. Very excited. But we're going to do a round robin style. We're going to count down. Each of us will go through our number 10 and then our number 9 all the way through to number 1. We will have some repeats, of course, but we'll talk to them each individually and give them a little bit of love and why they're on our list, why we've chosen those games until we finally reveal the number 1 game for each of us for the year. So thank you, listeners, for joining us this year. It's been an amazing year, and let us know your top 10. Let us know what's on your list as you're listening and if you agree with ours and what's been your highlights of the year. But let's get straight into it. I haven't thought actually who should go first, but I don't want to go first. I think Kirk can go first. I think we'll go Kirk, Trev, and me if you guys are okay with that order. Since I introduced you in that order, what do you think?
I
I
think that's
acquiesce
fine.
to you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start off with Kirk, if you're happy to give us your number 10 game of 2025.
Yeah. And this is probably a good one to start with because I can't imagine it's a game that's going to appear on many other top 10 lists, but it's definitely on mine. And it is Moons of Darsalon.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. See, you don't even know what it is.
Is that the
I haven't heard of it.
retro-y, jumpy, spacey one that you talked about a
Yes,
while
it
ago?
is.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah, I did talk about this when I was reviewing it. This is it's kind of like a lemming style game almost, kind of a platformer too that's basically set on the moon, and what you have to do, you're a fellow with a laser gun and a jetpack, and you've got to navigate the surface of this moon trying to save people, and they're stupid. So you need to get them and control them and give them orders to make sure that they're not in danger. But if they get too dark, they panic and they don't move. So you have to light their way. And it's just this crazy game that I thought worked really well. Uh, Decent retro graphics, fun to play, fun puzzling. It does get frustrating at time because the people that you're trying to save are pretty dumb. But I guess that's part of the gameplay, and it's funny too. It's got like little speech bubbles that come up, and there are some pretty clever lines in there. So uh,
Yeah,
just one of those games where I wasn't expecting a whole lot, and I got a whole lot. So it's made number 10 on my list this year.
that's brilliant. I love that. Do you want to repeat the title for us?
Moons of Darsalon.
Cool, cool.
It is developed and published by Dr. Kucho Games.
Okay. I love the name. I love it. Do they have other games? I don't know them.
I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
okay.
And this game got a bit of blowback because I guess they used AI or yeah, AI imagery or something like
Ah, yes.
some of the graphics were not created by a person, and that's too bad.
Mhm.
They certainly could have uh, skipped that whole issue just by hiring someone to do some of the work in that regard.
Yeah,
But like I
yeah.
said, the gameplay itself compensates.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you, Kirk. Let's move on to Truro. What is your number 10 game of 2025?
Oh yeah. No, first I want to give kudos to Kirk. I was looking at Metacritic, and the Switch has 4 reviews, so just enough to get a Metascore.
Ah.
And if it wasn't for Kirk, this game would be like the PS5 edition, to be determined. So because they need
Ah.
4 scores, so I think Pure Nintendo is always good for that, reviewing these smaller games and bringing them more attention. So
That's
now
awesome.
that said, my number 10 is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition
Ooh,
for the
nice.
original Switch. And of course, it's not a brand new game, it's an updated port of the Wii U game from 10 years ago, if you can
Mhm.
believe it. But it is pretty much new to me because I never owned it on the Wii U. I did play a friend's copy a little bit, but this was the first time I spent any real length with it. And I ended up putting in a couple dozen hours at least prior to the Switch 2 launching. And much like the original Xenoblade Chronicles, I eventually get to a point where I did get distracted and put it down, but that's really nothing to do with the quality. It's just my own, the way I play, because I play too many games. Um, so that, and coupled with the fact that it's a port, means I can't put it any higher, but it's still an impressive content-packed game that I'm excited to return to at some point. And I would say just read Kirk's review to learn more about it. He probably likes it a little bit more than me, but I mean, keep in mind, I'm not really a series fan per se. So the fact that it still makes my list, I think, speaks to the quality of this definitive edition.
Yeah, excellent. I love that. I'm sure it'll be on Kirk's list as well, somewhere in there. Maybe, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen your list. I don't know. I don't want to jump ahead.
Yeah, we
Thank
don't know. Kirk's the only one who knows.
So
Yes.
I know all.
Yeah. Thank you, Trev. Well, my number 10 is Kirby and the Forgotten Land, actually, for Switch 2. And I debated with this one because it could be a lot higher, but it is also an older game that they redid for the Switch 2 or added added content, added graphics. So I did put it a bit lower than, say, you did, Trev, when it originally came out, which I think you gave it number 1 that year. Did you? Is that right?
I sure
You
did.
sure did,
Yeah.
and rightly so. It's a terrific game, absolutely lovely, and looks fantastic on the Switch too. So it's obviously a platformer. It's a 3D platformer featuring Kirby. He's in the Forgotten Land. If you haven't played this, absolutely give it a go. I missed out the first time around, so I was quite excited when they did announce, and Trevor had been bugging me to play it for years. And then,
In
of
a good
course,
way.
in a
Good
good way,
bugging.
yes. I knew I needed to. I knew I needed to. It was always on my to playlist. So getting around to playing it finally on the Switch too, with the style, the graphics that they had incorporated, and of course the music is amazing. Kirby games in general are wonderful. So I was very happy to play this. I reviewed it. I gave it a very high score. I think I gave it 9.5. So yeah, it's a wonderful game, definitely worth checking out. And I look forward to more of it. Kirby Adventures in the future. I just wish I
You
could
gave
put
it
it
a
higher.
9.5, and
I
it's your
think so.
10th. So every
Well,
other game must be like a 10, right?
is that how we're doing it? I don't know. I don't know. As I said to you guys off air, I've struggled this year with this list, honestly. I've really, really struggled. I thought I had to put it down low because it's an older game that's been revamped for the Switch 2, like not a new game. That's my
Mm,
thought process. Like you just said,
it's
you couldn't
tricky.
put Xenoblade any higher because it's an older one. So
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
yes. Anyway, so that's my story. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, yep, number 10. Let's circle back to Kirk. What's your number 9?
This is a game I'm not going to talk about too much because I do know that it's going to be talked about quite a bit down the road. And you may even be mad that it's all the way down at 9, but I have Mario Kart World here.
Ah, I'm just
For
glad
the
it's on your list.
yeah, for the Switch too. Well, and see, here's the thing: we've talked before about whether games are, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. Mario Kart has never been my thing, but I can
Mhm,
absolutely acknowledge when a game absolutely nails what it wants to do and wants to
mhm,
be. And Mario Kart World did it, and I got it because it came pre-installed on the Switch too, and I played it much more than I thought it would. Um,
mm.
so yeah, I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's a great evolution for the series. I know some people didn't like some of the elements, but I'm not as into Mario Kart World as maybe they are. So those things didn't bother me as much, and I think it's a great game.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. Yeah, I think we'll be hearing more about Mario Kart soon, I'm sure. Trev, number 9, what do you got for us?
Oh, okay. So my number 9 is Agatha Christie Death on the Nile.
Oh, nice.
And it's almost a game. I almost had this at 10, but I gave it an edge because it is a new game, unlike Xenoblade, which was a port. And also, and this is a bit of a spoiler, most of my list this year is filled with first party content. I
Mhm,
feel like in years past, I've had a nice mixture of like indies or third party games, but this year
mm.
it's mostly first party. So I'm glad to have a couple games that are not, and this is one of them. Um, this is a game for Christie fans, which I'm one. I've read several of the books. I've seen some of the movie adaptations and played other games, but it's not necessarily one for Christie purists, and I outlined reasons for that in my review. But either way, unless you're a total bookworm for Agatha Christie, this is a real page turner in video game form, and it's a memorable one with its 70s setting and a really good voice acting, among other things. And it even has replay value, which is really uncommon for this style of game, like a kind of a detective mystery game. I don't necessarily think I'll replay it anytime soon because it does have some issues. I mean, every game does, right? But
Hmm.
it can make you flex your little gray cells, like Poirot would say. And I'm happy to have been it once for review. And I encourage any to read my thoughts and see if it's your type of game. It is a bit more niche, I guess, but I'm glad it was my type of game. And I also throw this out at the time we're recording, it's 30% off, and that's good till January 9th. So a very
Ooh.
good game. And if you like this style, you can get it at an even better price.
Yeah, that's nice. That's really good. Thank you. And I think mysteries are generally kind of always popular, like they're a bit evergreen that way. But at the moment, there's a bit of a resurgence, with Knives Out and those types of shows or movies, I should
Oh,
say. So Agatha
yeah.
Christie's always got a place there. People love, I think people have a fondness for that series, that, in general, that series and that style.
Mhm.
So yeah, very nice. Thank you, Trev. Well, my number 9 is Hades 2, actually. So also a third party slash indie title, which I'm happy to include on the list. And this is obviously a sequel, Hades 2. Only came out a couple of months ago. It's on Switch 2. And I've talked about it on the show before. It's super fun. It's a roguelite, so it's very hard. It's difficult, but it's so much fun. And you play the role of I guess not a demon, a god, a princess of the underworld,
Sounds
and
like a Kurt game to me.
it does a bit, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's one of the things that's great about this game is it has quite a good story. It's a roguelite, so you're obviously doing runs. You sort of die and you come back and you try it again, but the story continues and you get sort of power ups each time. You get a bit stronger, you get a bit further, that kind of thing. There's lots of interaction with other gods, like Greek mythology kind of gods. Aphrodite's there, Zeus and Poseidon. They all help you out along the way. So yeah, it's a really, really interesting story. It's also the graphics are terrific. Like it looks just wonderful on Switch 2. Very green tinted aesthetics, but the landscapes just look really amazing. They've done a really
Oh,
good
I was
job
going
with.
to ask you because I think
Yeah,
it's also on Switch One. So you played
I
it on
think it
Switch Two then?
is. Yeah, I think it is also Switch 1. I did get the Switch 2 version, and I think, yeah, because the original was on the Switch 1, and the developers talked about their I guess, development time with the Switch 2. There was an interview when the Switch 2 launched, I think. This was one of the games that was highlighted as coming to Switch 2. And from an indie perspective, like the devs were super excited to get it onto Switch 2 and how they did that. So that was really interesting as well. But yeah, visually, the soundtrack is also lovely. It's just a really standout title from this year. That's not a first party title. And I'm really glad I picked it up. I didn't review this one. It was one I just picked up because I wanted to try it and had a lot of fun. I'm glad I did. So yeah, definitely check this one out. It does have a physical release now as well. I think it got a physical release after the fact, like after the initial release. I don't know for sure if it's GameCube card or not, though. Sorry, but yeah, it is. You can get a physical copy, which I think is great as well if you're a collector. So yeah, check out Hades 2. Let's circle back to Kirk for number 8. What's happening with number 8?
Well, this is where I came in with Xenoblade Chronicles X
There
Definitive
you go.
Edition.
Uh,
Yeah, which is a bit lower than most. Like usually when there's a Xenoblade game that comes out, it's going to be in my top 3.
Mhm.
This one I push back a little bit because it is a remake or a remaster, however you want to, whatever you want to call it. And also, it's my least favorite of the series. It focuses a little too much on the jobs and less on the story. The game is pretty much go get a job, go in and you kill an animal, go a little bit further on land, then go back and forth like that. It doesn't really tell like an ongoing story like the other ones do, where you're just kind of like pushing out. This one's back, forth, and that kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. Um, but it was a gorgeous game, especially for the Switch. I really wish we could get like a full Switch 2 version of this because I think it would just be amazing. But even on the Switch, it played well. It looked great. There's a lot to tinker with if you want to. That's another reason why it gets a little further down for me is aside from upgrading your armor and your weapons throughout, you have the skills, and there are 3 different types of skills you can get, and outfitting them constantly. There's just so much to mess with in making sure that your party's optimized and your skills are
Mm.
optimized that it becomes a little too overwhelming in that regard. It takes up too much time. So by the time you're ready to go out on Mira, I think was the name of the planet, and do some exploration, it's bedtime. So it breaks up a little too much for me, and that's why it's this low. But I would absolutely recommend it. For anyone who's into JRPGs, especially if you're into mech combat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love that, and I love hearing your description. And that game came out, wasn't it really early in the year? Wasn't it like January or something?
It was
It
pretty
was,
early.
yeah. I
Yeah.
can't remember if it was January, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's good that that's, because I had forgotten, to be honest, about
It
it.
was
I feel
March.
like
Yeah,
yeah, I
March,
feel like
March. I
okay.
any
just pulled it
game
up.
pre-Switch 2,
Yeah,
you kind of forget
that's
about.
right. Yeah. So I love that. Thank you guys for putting that into your lists. Number what are we up to? 8. So number 8 for Trev. What's up?
Oh, okay. So my number 8 is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Ooh.
But to pause for dramatic effect,
Uh-huh.
this is the forgotten Donkey Kong game. Stay tuned for. I'm sure we're going to hear more on the other one, maybe from all of us. I don't know, but yeah, this was a very early. This was even earlier than Xenoblade. This was your January release,
That's right.
so I think people forget about that. Also, the fact that it's a Switch game. In fact, this is the 3rd Switch game I have in a row for Switch One. I promise Switch 2 games are coming. They're on my list. Of course, you can play these on Switch too, and they look and run even better, even if they're not necessarily optimized for Switch 2. But anyway, where was I? Okay, so unlike Xenoblade, this was not a new game to me. I did play it on the 3DS a fair amount, but what made it feel new to me in some ways and a lot of fun was playing it in 2-player mode with my wife. And I made a point of mentioning that in my review because on the 3DS, if I wanted to do that, you would need 2 copies. And I only had one, so I played it solo. It was different playing it cooperatively. And I recommend experiencing the game that way if you can,
Mhm.
with your spouse or with your kids, with a friend. If you did play it to death on 3DS or Wii, for that matter, back in the day, the full price is tougher to justify for sure. But there were some Black Friday discounts I saw, so last month maybe some were able to take advantage of that. I don't know.
Hopefully.
Um, Either way, the game's a platforming classic by most measures. So even on the lower end of my list, I'm not surprised that it made my personal top 10 because I like Donkey Kong.
Yes. That's awesome. Thank you, Trev. Yeah, that was a really good outing for sure. Love that. Let's move, well, back to me, I guess, for number 8. And my number 8 entry is Kirby Air Riders, which was
Ooh.
a Switch 2 release. And when did it come out? Was it November, I think? So it's a pretty recent one. And I loved it. It was such a different experience. And this is a game that turned me around, from the initial trailer where I was like, this isn't really something I'm interested in, to making my top 10, because it's just such a crazy, interesting, fun, entertaining, fast-paced, visually wonderful battle racer. It's more just not just about the racing; it's also about the battles. So I think Sakurai and the team did such a good job putting this together and putting so much love into it. You can tell that they've spent a lot of time with it. We got those 2 directs, obviously. They dedicated a lot of time to it, and it paid off. It really paid off. It's such a fun time. Kirby's never looked better. Well, Forgotten Land, maybe. Anyway, he looks really great. He looks great. Oh, the cast of characters is just vast. It's huge. You can play as anyone, I think. I don't know who's missing from that roster, but there's quite a few names there to choose from. The machines, the gliders are interesting in their own way. They've got their own little almost personalities and definitely their own characteristics. So it's really fun to try them out. The visuals, like I said, each level, each track just looks beautiful. Especially, I mean, it's a Switch 2 game. It's not on Switch 1, this one at all. But yeah, it really, because it's so fast paced as well, it really takes advantage of that Switch 2 hardware. So yeah, I'm very happy to include that in my top 10 as number 8 there, Kirby Air Riders. I did review this one as well, so you can check out my full thoughts on the Pure Nintendo website as well if you're interested. But yeah.
I think I need another direct to decide if I want.
I know. It's a tough one. It's not for everyone. It's such a different experience. Like, it's not like Mario Kart World at all. And Sakurai said that, and we all thought that. We all thought that when the trailer dropped. Like, why is Nintendo doing 2 races in, within a space of a few months? Like, that's weird and crazy, but they're very different. They're very, very different. It has a Smash Brothers style to it, with even the way when the riders win, it's just like Smash Brothers with the big kind of, what do you call it? Like, it cuts off the screen with the half of the screen diagonally is the character and half is a color saying first place or whatever. It gives Smash Brothers vibes in a racing kind of context. So maybe if you're needing a Smash Brothers fix, it would sort you out there, I think, as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you have thought at the beginning of the year that you'd have 2 Kirby games on your top 10 list at the end?
No, I would not actually. No. That's a nice surprise. It was a very nice surprise. Yeah. Not at all. Let's head back to Kirk for number 7. What have you got for us there?
Well, starting at 765, these 3 games I could have done, I think, in any order. And 7 appears here probably because I haven't had as much time with it as some of the others. But this is where I'm slotting Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Oh, okay.
I just got it a few days ago, and I've been playing it, and I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. I haven't gotten too far in. I have no problem with Miles whatsoever.
Told you.
But in fact, it was funny because I was playing it just before I got on here. Like, I had to force myself to stop to come record. And I was pointing at Sophie was watching me play, and I was like, have you ever wondered why, no matter where Samus goes, any planet, she's always running into some kind of structure where there happens to be this tube in it that is perfectly sized for her more point.
Yes.
And Sophie pointed out, well, maybe she had been to a lot of planets and saw that all of them had this and thought, you know what, I got to be able to turn into a ball. And then went and did it retrofitted. So I thought, okay, well, that's a good point.
I love that. That's
very
nice
smart for
Yes. Very, very smart. Thank you, Sophie.
I'm putting Sophie's theory in my own personal canon. It's like,
yeah. Yes.
Yeah, the tube people were really upset when someone figured that out, and now they had to rethink all their security.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a great game! It's just beautiful to play, and it aside from 1 or 2 others that I'm going to mention later, I think does the best job of taking advantage of the Switch 2 hardware. And since I have been playing Metroid Prime Remastered leading up to this, the leap even from Metroid Prime Remastered to Prime 4, I think is fantastic, just in the way it looks and plays and the way it feels as you're playing it. Just a wonderful game. Love it.
Brilliant. I'm so glad you liked it. Yes. We knew you would. I think we knew you would.
That's true. Now, like I said, I haven't gotten too far. I've gotten far into it, but not to the point where, sometimes fatigue can start to set in, and it's a little too much of the same thing. I'm not far enough for that to have happened. So maybe, my current feeling would be tempered, or maybe not, and that would never set in, and I would have to raise it high.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, right now, as of this point, it's number 7 on my list.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kirk. What's your number 7, Trev?
Okay. So starting at my number 7, we have a bump in quality. Not that my first 3 games weren't very good, because obviously they were, but I feel like here's a bump in quality, and I don't know if I have to put a little asterisk, because this is my first Switch 2 game, but it's actually DLC for a Switch 1 game. I,
Ah.
I'm counting the Starcrossed World DLC portion of Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
And this was, I had to wrestle with this because, as you mentioned, Kirby was my personal game of the year back in 2022, and
Mm.
I was overall runner up for the crew. And I was hesitant to put the entire game on my list because this Switch 2 edition is just so close to the original release, right? It's one
Yeah.
thing like when I had Super Mario RPG a couple years ago. That was decades
Mm.
between releases. So, or even Xenoblade and Donkey Kong here, those had a decade plus between releases. But Kirby, it's only 3 years old. I'm like, I can't put the game, but I'm putting the DLC because that is new,
Yeah.
and I justified it by doing that separately. It's 19.99, and it gave me an excuse to replay the game for the first time since release, and it's still a ton of fun.
Mhm.
It's you know it's even though some of the content is a few years old, it looks and runs even better. So it felt new, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I forgot how much I love this game. And if I hadn't played it, if it was a brand new game to me, I'd obviously have it much much higher. But I encourage you to check out the review. Gemma reviewed this one. If you missed the game, if you missed the review, read it, grab it, have a blast. And if you have the original game like I did, grab the DLC and just experience the remixed levels with, there's some new, abilities and such. It's so much
Mm.
fun.
It is. Yeah. Very, very well designed game. Love that. Thank you, Trev. Now I feel bad for putting mine at number 10.
I know. What the heck? I thought for sure you'd have a top five.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, I've struggled this year. I have struggled. There's just so much competition. There are so many good games to talk about. It could have
I
been
know.
higher. I didn't know because it was a remastered, well, whatever.
It's tricky with these Switch 2 versions because, like,
Mm,
these are
mhm.
games we love, but they've been on our list before. What do we do?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes. Cool. Well, thank you, Trev. My number 7 is Bull Pit, which I did review this
Oh,
one a few months ago. And this one is another roguelite. It's different to Hades 2, though. It's a top down. Sorry, it's not a top down. Well, it is more or less top down, actually. It's a Vampire Survivors esque game where you are traversing through a giant hole in the earth, a pit. And each level, it takes you further down into the pit. And there are hordes of enemies moving relentlessly towards you, ever forward. You just control your little person on the screen. You can move anywhere within the frame, but it's an auto shooter like Vampire Survivors is, so it just shoots automatically. You upgrade your weapons along the way as you kill more enemies. You get more XP. Upgrade your abilities. You combine your abilities. You get all these cool evolutions and combinations. It's really really fun to try them out and unlock new characters and weapons along the way as well. It's one of those games that's are also very difficult. Being a roguelite, it is very hard. But the more you play, the better you get. And the more abilities you unlock, of course. So as you level up, you get stronger, you get further down the pit. So it's designed to keep you playing, of course. And it's just a blast. It's very addictive. And there's DLC coming in 2026 for free, which is awesome. And I think the developer did such a good job. He was featured on one of the directs. Kenny Sun is his name. He was featured on one of the Nintendo Directs earlier this year. Probably, I don't know which one it was, sorry, but the one where they interview all the indie devs and they talk about the game. And when I saw it, it looked like a game for me just because of the style. I can tell. But I didn't know quite how fun it would be, and it is very, very fun. So the ball, the other cool thing is the mechanic is the ball. Your weapon is a ball, more or less. It's variations of balls, but they bounce off the wall like breakout style and ricochet back and forth and hit enemies. And it's so satisfying to just get bonus kind of hits from the way that the angle that your ball is pointed at. It's really clever, very cleverly designed, really fun game. Looking forward to more of that in 2026. But
mm.
let's move on to
That's
Kurt.
another one. I'm sorry. That's on Switch and Switch 2, right?
I believe so, yeah, because this one, it looks good, but it's not like it looks phenomenal, and that's fine. It's not. It certainly looks nice, but it's a retro style, very pixelated, but purposely pixelated. So while it looks really good on Switch 2 and it runs fantastically, I assume it also runs fairly well on Switch 1, just because it's not high graphically intense game, like your Metroids, like your Kirby Air Riders, etc.
I like
It's
that too, because not everybody's upgraded, or maybe they have,
yeah,
maybe they get them for
yeah.
the holidays, but there's some people still rocking the original unit, so it's nice that some of these games we're talking about they can experience.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I believe did this one get a physical release as well? I thought later. Like it came out maybe October or something. I thought it was getting a physical, or maybe the Switch 2. Sorry, the Switch 2 edition came later. I think that came in like December, maybe. So it was an original Switch game, and then they released the Switch 2 one, I think, early December. So I upgraded it when that happened, and it was a free upgrade. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So that's really cool. So watch out for more of that in 2026. Let's move on to number 6. What does Kirk have for us?
Number 6 for me is the other game that I just started playing.
Mhm.
You knew this was coming. This is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment.
Mm.
Oh, excellent.
This may be, and I have to get further into it. This may be my favorite Warriors game I've ever played.
Nice. Mhm.
I was shocked at
Wait,
how
favorite Hyrule Warriors? Or
no
like,
Warriors overall,
Oh,
including Warriors of
wow.
Orochi, including the Fire Emblem. Uh,
wow.
yeah, and part of that may be because it's just the first time I really played it on a powerful system that could
Mhm.
really handle everything that's going on, and the action is so smooth and so deep. So it's just like a completely different experience from what I had on the Wii or the Wii U or even the Switch. So I really love the performance of the game. But more than that, the other Warriors games I played have focused on the number of characters, many of them anyway. Like one of them, I think, had over 100 people in it.
Yeah.
And that was the attraction of the game, just constantly throwing characters at you, new people you could use. This one doesn't. Like you start out with mainly just three, and they
Mm.
kind of change that up and they give you a few surprises along the way, but the story just builds really well, and I was really impressed with how well they tie it into the stories that we got in Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm. Mhm.
um, it's just kind of like staggered throughout, so like at one point we're coming up on something and I'm like, no, don't, because I know what's going to happen. I'm like, come on, let's change this. We need a happy, but we don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoy the whole thing. I love the way the attacks, the way you're fighting, focusing on like the boss. I guess I'll say monsters, the boss battles,
Mhm.
the way those are handled, because you play those characters differently from when you're fighting the hordes of enemies, but not so differently that it suddenly feels like you're playing a different game or the combat changes so much. It's all just very well done, and I think that Koei Tecmo and did Goose help with this? I can't remember, but they just completely nailed it, and I'm really having a blast playing it.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank you,
Great.
Kirk.
Yeah, now I want them to go back and do another Fire Emblem Warriors, so I can.
Yes. Yeah, I have to admit
Or
when you
as I've also said, some of the actual Samurai Warriors or Dynasty Warriors bringing us that too, so I can experience it on the system. And now I'll quit
Yeah.
interrupting.
I hope they do. They will have to, surely. And yeah, when you
Yeah.
said your favorite Warriors game, I just thought you meant Horror Warriors, to be honest. So thank you for clarifying. Thank you for asking that, Trev. Yeah, that's amazing. That's really cool. Awesome. Let's move on to number 6 for Trev.
Okay. I have Wild Hearts S, which is
Oh,
actually my first proper Switch 2 game. It's not a Switch 1 game or Switch 2 DLC, it's actual game. And this was probably my biggest surprise of this year. I know I talked about it before in our regular podcast, as well as in my review, but I only took it because Kirk asked to clear the code out of the queue.
yeah.
And little did I know it'd be one of my most played games of the year. And little did I know that my wife would also get hooked on it because it's really not her type of game.
Mm.
It's, that's my cat in the background. I don't know if you can hear it.
Hi, kitty.
It's a bit
Your
like,
cat has a wild heart.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit, like Monster Hunter, a bit like Xenoblade, maybe even a little bit like Hyrule Warriors. But it's once I get out past the initial learning curve, which it did have a learning curve.
Mm.
I really got into it, and in some ways, I think I like it better than like Xenoblade. I mean, I have it higher on my list, so um, and I'm just glad to have another non-first party game too. I think this is the only other one I had on my list this year. So It comes highly recommended by me. Even on Metacritic, it's recommended. I think it's a 75, but I scored it 8.5. So, which I thought it earned. I thought it was a great game. And this is another one. Just going to throw this out there. It's 30% off. It's only till the 2nd, but
Mm.
if you act quick, you can get a digital copy on the eShop and get it at a discount. Don't wait too long. Maybe you'll have as much fun as I did.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad that you ended up taking that because I almost did. I didn't. I tried the demo and I liked it enough, but I don't know. I didn't want to review that one. I don't think I think I had too much else going on and
Yeah, it
yeah.
did. It took a little while to get into,
Mm.
and that's why you don't, sometimes I see reviews, not from us, but from other outlets, and I'm like, did they play that game more than an hour? Like, because this is one, if I would have
Yes.
only played it for an hour or two, who knows what I might have scored it, but we stuck with it, and it just got better the further you got in, and
Mm.
dozens of hours in, I was having a blast.
That's awesome. I love that. I'm really glad you enjoyed that one. Thank you, Trev. All right, so my number 6, and a bit like, Kirk, the next couple are sort of interchangeable in a way, and I've struggled a lot with these 2. So number 6 for me is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which
Oh,
I played recently and reviewed as well, and obviously enjoyed for the same reasons that Kirk has already mentioned. Obviously, I'm a bit further than Kirk. This is a fantastic game. I think they did such a great job with the development, considering the hiccups we had along the way, considering the time between entries, considering the expectations that we had placed upon it, and it just looks so good. It's phenomenally attractive game. Like you said, the power of the Switch 2 is at the front there, and the soundtrack as well. And Trev and I haven't even Trev, sorry, you and I haven't even had a chance to really talk about that because you haven't been on the last
mm,
couple of episodes when we have talked about Metroid Prime 4. But oh boy, that soundtrack is great. It is so good. It's like really lovely.
it
So
sure
yeah,
is.
yeah, and obviously Viola, the bike, was a nice surprise. I wasn't sure when I saw it in the trailer how I'd feel about it, but it's so easy to use. I love that it disappears and appears at will. There's so much to do. The scanning is obviously improved. The boss fights are epic. Samus has never looked better. Yeah, I think they just knocked this one out of the park. I really love this game. Metro Prime 4, just fantastic, and could have been higher if not for some competition that we've got going on. So yeah, that's my number 6. We're done with the first half. Oh my gosh, the top 5 is now upon us. So Kirk, if you'd like to do the honors of bringing in number 5 from your list.
I will do so. And I'm first going to say, I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler alert. I am done with first party games.
Wow, there you go.
Whoa.
My top, at least as far as I know. Maybe I'll get corrected on one or two of these, but five definitely is not. Five is Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess,
Nice.
which was also my favorite launch day release. And as
Mhm.
said at the time, it could possibly be my game of the year, but some other games edged it out. But I said back then that my favorite thing about this was without the Switch 2, this is a game, the type of game that we would just never ever see on a Nintendo device. Um, but with the Switch 2 and the power that it had, we got this. It's a crazy combination of well, the premise is um, the goddess basically is at the top of this mountain and it's become corrupt with this evil and she needs to come down and you're kind of escorting her along the way and you need to clear the path for her by taking out all these enemies, by purifying it, and then she has to dance to purify it more as she's coming down, and you need to protect her while that's happening. And you get like it's kind of a real-time strategy setup where you're placing different soldiers along the way with different capabilities. One may be an archer, one has an axe, and as the enemies are breaking out of this gate, you're finding the best way to repel them. And then once you get to the end, there's going to be a boss fight. Then you're able to build a village, and you kind of build up the village, and then you progress, and you just keep working your way down the mountain. It never gets boring. It's very challenging and just has a very unique look and unique gameplay that really I don't think has an equivalent on a Nintendo system that I played certainly recently. So
Mm.
partially for that reason, partially just because it's done so well throughout, it makes it this high on my list.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I do remember you loving this at the time, of course. And this is a Capcom game, isn't it? They've had such a big year, I think. Really. Yeah. They gave the Switch 2 a lot of love upon release as well.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And continue to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. Love the support that they give the Switch too. Thank you. I'm not surprised that all this is on your list, but yeah, I guess I would have thought maybe slightly higher, but that just makes me intrigued to see what is in your top 4. Can't wait to find out. Let's move on to Trev for number 5. What's on your list?
Okay, I have a repeat, or not for obviously me, first time on my list, but Kirk already mentioned this Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment on the Switch 2. I've always thought that the style, like the gameplay of the Warriors games, didn't really fit my personal definition of like, oh, my top games of the year, but here we are, top 5. So surprise. um, yeah, Kirk said a lot of stuff great, but I mean the game's fun, and I expected it to be fun. Um, I've had even more fun playing it in co-op, which, of course, I did that with the last game, but this game's better, and it really surpassed my expectations in that regard because of the game share feature. You can play on even on Switch One and have 2 separate screens, which is nice. Still runs good even with split screen though, because Switch Two is just it's more powerful, right? Um, so yeah, I like this one better than the last Hyrule Warriors game, and I think if you're a fan of the series, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Seeing how they take those Zelda universe elements and meld them into this type of gameplay. It just really scratches that Zelda itch because, I mean, this year we might have replayed Wind Waker on Switch Online or Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, but people want genuinely new Zelda content, and this was it. And even though it's not a traditional Zelda game, um, yeah, I just had a lot of fun. I can't really say it any better than Kirk did. I'll leave it at that for time's sake. But yeah, this is one I also reviewed. Do check it out if you're so inclined. And there's just a lot of content, even after you beat the game. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Trev. Well, guess what? My number 5 is also Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
We were all right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this the first game that we've all had so far?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, that's it. Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't think I can add anything really other than to say that I haven't really experienced a lot of Warriors games. I've experienced them, but not a lot of them. And so for me, this was a huge, I don't know, I was very, very impressed, to say that. Very impressed with this one. And I love, Kirk said this about the lore, and you said as well that it scratches that Zelda itch. The way they integrated the story into what we've seen with Tears of the Kingdom, the tears, and seeing Zelda's story play out in the past, so cool. I love it. I love Zelda. This game made me love Zelda just so much more than I already did. So she's just amazing. She's fantastic. It's very smooth gameplay, very satisfying battles. Love pulling off those combos and high fiving and all the rest of it. The characters, like you said, yeah, it's a really, really fun time. And the co-op, like you said, Trev, so cool. I love playing with my son. It's just so much fun. Yeah, it really works really well. So I won't add too much more because you've both done a great job of that already. So yeah, Horror Warriors number 5. Let's move on to sorry, Kirk?
I want to say one more thing about it since
Yeah, sure.
you were
Please
talking
do.
about integrating. I love the way they use the Koroks in the game. Still finding them,
Yeah.
they're much easier to find.
Yeah.
But the
Yes.
first time I had to pop a balloon to find one, I thought this is too much. But you get to fight with one of them too. And when that little dude started going off the first time, it reminded me of whichever Star Wars movie where we got to see Yoda
Oh, yeah.
unleashed for the
Yes.
first time. That little guy was. I had the exact same impression of watching him go into battle as I did.
That's so true. That's a good analogy. I like that. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I love the use of the Koroks as well. Good point. Thank you. All right, number 4 for Kirk. What have you got?
Number 4, here's a game I didn't see coming. I've never played any other game in the series and picked this one up and fell in love with it. And that is No Sleep for Kaname Date from AI, The Somnium Files for the Switch.
Ooh, yes, I remember you talking about this one.
Yeah. Another game that just worked straight across the board, from the gameplay to the story to the humor. Everything about it fit. It was fun from start to finish. It's kind of a puzzle game. There's an idol who is trapped basically in these escape rooms, and you control her. You control some people on the outside, and you kind of have to figure out how to go out. And then after that's done, then you're trying to solve the mystery of who's making this happen to begin with. And you're going around and solving clues and meeting characters. And there are some like quick time, I won't say battles, but elements where you need to survive some attacks. It's all over the place in the gameplay, but just a really tight story and really fun. And like I said, not a game that I would have put this high, but there was no question after I played it that it was going to be this high on the list.
Yeah, I love that. And when you go into these games during the year, do you think, at what point is it that you think this might be a contender? Like, how far into this one did you have to get before you decided that?
I don't know. I like sometimes there's just like one thing that happens and it perfectly clicks for me, and then I'm just riding high on the rest of the game. This one, I don't remember there being a specific moment when that happened, so much as there was never a moment where I didn't enjoy playing it.
Mhm. That's cool. Well, that's a very good recommendation then. For sure. Cool. Thank you. Let's move on to Trev, number 4. What do you have?
Okay. Here's another game where all three of us have it. I have Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Nice.
And it wasn't deliberate to have Prime 4 at number 4. It's just how it happened to fall.
Sure.
I think Kirk alluded to this because this is also one I haven't I picked up late. So I feel had it released maybe a little bit earlier in the year, I'd feel more definitive about its placement. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's for right now. It's number 4. I'll be curious if Justin had this on his list. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I'm sure
I
he
can
would.
offer a spoiler if you want to hear.
yeah,
Surely it's
okay.
on his list, right?
Oh yeah, it's on his list. All right. He had this at number 1.
Ah,
Oh
yeah,
my
okay.
goodness. Okay.
There you go.
So
That's
wow.
cool.
All right. So yeah, we all had it fairly high up.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So who knows after I play it more if this will move up. I feel like it bounced around between 4
Mhm.
and 3, even 2 at one point. But uh, just to be fair, because it's mostly positive. I mean, the game did have a troubled production, and I think to some extent you can see that in the final product. It's got its quirks. I feel like the save system maybe is a little out of date, especially for a
Mhm.
handheld mode. I don't want to have to try to find
Yeah.
a save room.
I was
Um,
making up songs about that today.
Really?
Yeah, about not being able to save where I want to. If I could remember the melody, I'd sing it to you, but
oh man,
Oh, I
yeah.
love that.
I'm like Nintendo, man. I'm playing this in handheld mode. I might only have 5 minutes. Come on, do a quick save, right? And let me just come back, and then you can delete it anyway.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I know,
Um,
right? It's 2025.
that's an issue. I think maybe some of the amiibo use maybe is a little quirky. We already talked about Miles. I mean, what I think it is with Miles? I think what stands out more is the fact that Samus is just silent. So
Yes.
all you hear is Miles. I think if they had done like other M and gave Samus a voice,
Mm.
um, it makes me wonder what they're going to do with like the Zelda movie. I don't know. I personally would have preferred Samus had a voice other than grunts.
It did seem
But
odd. At first, it was fine, but then,
right,
when she's just, like, ignoring him, it's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, and you can't even see her eyes, so
Yeah.
you don't even know, like, whether she's taking him seriously or has just
Yeah.
had enough of him.
Yeah.
but all these things out of the way, all my little nitpicks here. Visually, I mean, we've already talked about the art direction and how stunning it is. I also like how they give you a choice for graphics versus performance.
Mhm.
The soundtrack,
Mm.
Gemma, I know you already highlighted that, but uh, I mean, it's wow. I
Yeah.
mean,
No, and even the ambient sounds like it
Yeah.
has this 70s movie sci-fi vibe to it, even
Mm.
when there's no music,
Mhm.
because of the weird effects that they bring in, the weird audio effects. I love it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, very cool.
it, it's just so atmospheric and cinematic, and I feel like the positives just outweigh the negatives by such sizable margins. I was thinking on it in recent years, every Metroid game, I mean, from Samus Returns on the 3DS to Dread to Prime Remastered, and now Prime 4 Beyond, they always make my top 10, and I'm glad the tradition continues. And I'll just leave it at that because we've already, all three of us now have talked about it.
Yeah.
And this is also on Switch 1 and Switch 2. So if you don't have the new system, you
Mm.
don't have to
Mhm.
wait. Pick it up and upgrade after the fact.
Yeah, which is great. I'm so glad they did that because, like you said earlier, it a lot of people haven't upgraded yet. A lot of people have, but a lot of people haven't. There's a lot of Switches in the wild, and a lot of people were waiting a very long time for this game. So to keep them happy and to give them something to do, I think is fantastic. So yeah, very cool. Thank you, Trev.
Mm.
It's on to me, and honestly, my top 4 is all interchangeable. I am so impressed with these 4 games. I've struggled really hard with my top 4. It's been the hardest year for me to do this. So, apologies if this seems like it's not in the right order, but this is my order. All right, so number 4 for me is Mario Kart World, which yeah, I love Mario Kart. I think we all know I love Mario Kart. I've been a fan since the beginning, since the Super Nintendo. This is a great outing. It could easily be number 3 or 2 or even number 1 because it is such a departure from the franchise. It's a big, beautiful game. Again, soundtrack wise as well. Beautiful soundtrack. It looks phenomenal. It just looks amazing. I think it really showcases the Switch 2 as well. Even though it's in a cartoony kind of fun Mario sort of way, I love this game. I think the new modes add a lot of value. I know not everyone's been a fan of them. I happen to be, but the Grand Prix is still there. This is a game that will be continued. Like I'll play this for the life of the Switch 2, just like I did with Mario Kart 8.
Mm.
So it's going to be there, and that's why I feel number 4 doesn't do it justice. But I think top 4 is still great. And it was a launch title. Launching the Switch 2 with Mario Kart World for me was perfect. I love
Mm.
that. I love Mario Kart World. This is just it was such a great idea. I know people had their thoughts and their opinions and whatever. I know it was a bit more expensive than when we're used to, all the rest of that. But at the end of the day, this game is now in my top played games. And it will continue to grow and grow in terms of that number will grow and grow. Those hours. I still haven't even got all the 3-star gold cups for all of the tracks because I was just playing it the other day actually on holidays and trying to get some of those 3-starred gold cups. And the feeling when you do really well in the first couple of races out of 4 and then and then suddenly you come second or third in one of them towards the end and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's
I
challenging
know
like
that all too well.
yeah, in like 150cc. It's like, oh, come on. So, I mean, the number of characters, the costumes, yeah, I
I
think
know it even in 100 sometimes. You're better than me.
I think I've got all 100 3-star golds and the 50s, but just not the 150s. So I'm trying to work my way through that. Yeah, we always pull it out whenever we have family over. It's always our go-to. We played it on the weekend. In fact, we played it on Christmas Day, actually, at my sister's house. We played a bit of Mario Kart. I introduced someone new to it, actually, who hadn't even played it before. So that was neat. Yeah.
I'd be curious if Nintendo had stats like what games people were playing, like on holidays.
Yeah. That'd be really yeah, that'd be an interesting start. It's surely Mario Kart's up there though. It's
Mm.
one of those multiplayer games, I think. That and Mario Party, right? Yeah,
Oh yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, so I love this game. I don't I what else can I say? It's Mario Kart. It's the definitive Mario Kart for now. I'm really interested to see what they'll do with it, whether there'll be DLC, what they'll add in the future, if anything. They haven't said they're not doing that. So I don't know. Maybe 2026 will bring us something. Maybe not. Who knows? But it is one of those long term, almost evergreen type of games that will just stick with us for quite a few years to come. Yeah. So that's my number 4. Now we're in the top 3. This is the end game here kind of thing. What do we got? Crack. What's number 3 for you?
Number 3 is Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have much experience with Rune Factory. Um, when I reviewed this, I gave it a 9 out of 10. And the thing that struck me the most about it was how perfectly balanced all the different gaming elements were. I expected it to be farming, a whole lot of farming and some romancing. But the exploration, the way they handled the exploration with flying around on these dragons and getting access to different islands, different parts of the main continent, and even the combat itself was very well done. It felt to me like 4 different games, and I could pick it up and play it however I wanted to play it that day. I could just farm if I wanted to, or I could go explore and get into some fights. I could push the story. Uh, the whole thing just was so well done, and it looked so good. I played it on the Switch too. I don't know that I would ever be able to go back to a previous Rune Factory game because I can't imagine they just did as well with it as they did with Guardians of Azuma. Kind of
Mm.
like the Atelier games. I played the older games in the series, and I don't like them nearly as much as when they started focusing a little bit more on combat and a little bit more on story, maybe with the Atelier Ryza games. So this one just completely nailed it for me, and I loved playing it from start to finish.
That's awesome. I guess, would this technically be Rune Factory 6 or not?
Well, I don't even know. Trevor, you played some of these games, haven't you? Or your wife?
Yeah. In fact, it's funny. Had I played this one, I wonder if it would have made my own list. It's
Mm.
possible. I don't know. There've been like ports and stuff too, so I'm not entirely sure on the count. But
Yeah, well, I know
it's
there was a
cool. It
Rune.
made your list. I'm glad it made your
Yeah.
list.
There was a Rune Factory 5, so and that was 2021. I've heard friends tell me Rune Factory 5 was fantastic. So, and then this is, I guess an iteration on that, or maybe it's a sub genre of its own. You know what I mean? Like they've numbered 1 to 4, and then they've got a couple others that aren't numbered, like
It's hard
tied.
to keep track
Yeah.
because there's
Yeah.
ports and spin-offs, and
Mm,
it's like
mhm.
the the origin of these series is, I don't know, maybe a little muddled.
Yeah, yeah. But as long as Kirk enjoyed it, that's the main thing, and I think that's great. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Kirk. We are on to Trev and your number 3.
Okay. I have Mario Kart World.
Ah, I thought it'd be up there.
Again, this is one that all three of us had. Did Justin have this one too?
Yes, he did. Not as high as. Oh no, yeah, he had it at 4.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go.
Yeah,
Same as me.
same as Gemma.
Mhm.
Okay. So wow, so I'm the highest at 3. Is it too high?
No, I
I
had
don't
mine
know.
at 3. I had mine at 2. It changed, honestly. I said my top 4 are interchangeable, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this is one. I had this and Metroid bouncing back and forth for a while, but um I played Mario Kart World more, and
Mm,
it's, you know, some of what you said. I feel like maybe for some people the honeymoon period for this game ended a little sooner. Maybe because of the standalone cost, or maybe they were comparing it to 8 Deluxe that we've been playing for a decade. But
mhm. Yeah, yeah.
this was, I mean, like most of us, if not all of us, this was my pack-in. So the
Mhm.
first few weeks of owning Switch 2, it was my jam.
Mm.
Thank you, Justin, for grabbing that backup for Kirk, and thank you, Kirk, for not needing your backup because that's the one I wound up with.
Nice.
And I had a lot of fun playing Mario Kart on my own. I had fun playing online with you guys,
Yeah.
and doing the game chat. And uh, like you said, Gemma, it's going to be one of those evergreen games that all of us are going to play throughout the Switch 2 life.
Mhm.
And some might be like Kirk busted out with family, and then some might be like you chasing 3 stars. But no matter how you play it, it's going to get a lot of play. And I always talk about how the Mario platformers are my favorites, but really Mario Kart's right up there too. I mean, I still play the Nintendo 64 version. So
Mm.
and I'm going to still play World. This is one I think I reviewed as well.
You did,
And
yeah.
yeah, I give it an 8.5. I thought it might be a little low, although it's still great, obviously. But actually, on Metacritic, this is 86. This is one time I'm right there with the majority,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is interesting. But it's a
Mm.
great game. And like you said, it's only going to get better in time. because who
Mhm.
knows what they're going to add,
Yeah.
So maybe we'll be talking about DLC for this game this time next year.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows, right? And speaking
Mm.
of playing other Mario Karts, I'm still playing Mario Kart Tour as well. So yeah, you're right. For me it's up there as well. It's always something I'm playing, just like you, Trev. So yeah,
Mhm.
thank you. That was number 3, wasn't it? So it's up to me now. My number 3 is actually not a first party title. So
Ooh.
joining Kirk a little bit here for a second. It's Can you guys guess? What is a game I've gone on about the last few months? Mostly the previous game, but this is the sequel that came out. It is Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Oh,
Oh, of
yes.
course, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah. This is just such a great game. I love this game. I love Hollow Knight. I love Hollow Knight Silk Song. I think, like I said, this could have been it could be number 1, but there's just games that I've preferred from a first party perspective. But also Mario Kart could have been number 3 as well. So it's such a great game. Team Cherry has done such a great job with this one. It was 8 years in the making. I only got into Hollow Knight this year. I played the absolute heck out of it. It will probably be my number 1 game, like gameplay wise of 2025 will probably be Hollow Knight, like the original Hollow Knight. Silk Song came out, was it late September, I think? And I've been loving this one as well. What I think they've done really well is they haven't just made Hollow Knight 2. Like, it's not like you're the same character in the same world doing the same things. It is the same, it's a Metroidvania. It's about exploration. It's about, leveling up and unlocking abilities and doing boss fights and all of that sort of thing. But you're a different character. You're Hornet. And, players from the first game will recognize Hornet as, one of the characters from the original game, so I love the tie-in there. But she's in a different world. She's in a different environment. She's got her own mission. There's new characters to meet and interact with. There's new areas to explore, like 100% new areas. None of this is repeat at all. She has different abilities. Some of them are the same, like she has a dash move, but some quality of life improvements, for example. Hornet, when she dashes, you hold the dash button. It's not just a quick dash. You hold it down and she just keeps dashing, and you can dash through water, which always bugged me in Hollow Knight. Like, it's not a big deal, but I'm a dasher. I just love to dash. Once I have the dash ability, I'm dashing everywhere. And when you when you're in water in Hollow Knight, you can't dash. So you have to jump and dash or just swim slowly. With Hornet, she can just dash through water. It just makes a huge difference. And just holding down the dash button as well, so you can just zoom through any areas you've been through previously where there's no enemies. You can just dash through, and it makes you a bit more nimble. The character of Hornet is just a bit faster and more, yeah, I guess there's more of a gymnastic element to it. She's more nimble. She jumps higher, just a bit more bouncing around kind of thing, which is just like she was in the original game when you encountered her. So it feels different, which it feels different but the same. So that's why I think they've done a great job. It's like they've taken this world and expanded on it in such a fantastic way. I can't wait to see what they do next. There's DLC coming for Silk Song, as we reported on. Was it just last week that we reported on that, Kirk? uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
or yeah, maybe the week before.
yeah, maybe the week before. Pretty recently, they just announced it. So that'll be out in 2026. We don't have a date yet, but yeah, free DLC. And that's the other thing. Team Cherry, they just support their games. So they did loads of DLC for Hollow Knight, and I'm sure there'll be more for Silk Song along the way as well. And Hollow Knight is getting a Switch 2 edition. I'll just put that little plug in there as well. So if you were interested, now I think my friend, just a little side note, my friend recently got a Switch 2, asked me what games he should play. And I said, well, Hollow Knight is really good if you like tough platforming, Metroidvania type of games. He went straight into Silk Song, which I probably would have said get the first one first, but it's fine. You don't need to have played Hollow Knight first. And he lasted like 10 minutes and he just got frustrated. So be warned, this isn't for everyone. Okay. And especially Silk Song, I would say, at least initially, feels harder than Hollow Knight. And maybe that's because I'm coming from Hollow Knight where I've I'm over 100% of the game and I'm pretty powered up at this point. And you come into Silk Song and she's, at the very start, you don't have any powers. So you're jumping around. You can't do wall jumps. You can't do dashes. You can't do double jumps. So you feel pretty underpowered. And there's a boss in the early stages. It's quite hard. And then, of course, once you beat that boss, things open up a bit more. So just stick with it and don't go in go in knowing what to expect because it is tough. Like Kirk said recently when we talked about in the show, it's maybe not a game for you. So yeah, but that's okay. It's a game for me, and I love it. So
Mm.
yeah, thank you for listening to my story on Hollow Knight Silksong.
It was a good one.
Yeah, so let's move on to the top two. Very, very excited to see what is your top two. What are your top two games? So let's go number two for Kirk. What have you got for us?
A game that is perfectly in line with my sensibilities. Persona 3 Reload.
Oh, nice. Mhm.
Mm.
This is it's got my my JRPG melodrama. Um, turn-based combat. It's very much a slice of life thing too. The whole thing takes place for the most part around a Japanese high school, and there's this group of kids that have this ability to there's something that they call like the midnight hour. I think that's what they call it. It's been a while since I played it. Where everybody kind of gets frozen in these coffins, but they don't, and they're able to go in and battle these demons that are coming out. But it's so much more than that. You're recruiting demons to get on your side. You're developing relationships. And how you do that impacts the way the characters are played. Every single character in the game has a really good story. It's just a very compelling game to go through from start to finish. Persona 5 Royal was released ahead of this, and I greatly enjoyed that one too. This one is a little more grounded. The characters feel a little more real. The other one was very stylized, and perfectly so. I mean, it was wonderful the way they did it. This one's a little more in line with. I don't want to say reality because it's definitely not that, but the characters seem a little more real, a little more approachable with what they're going through in their real life, in addition to what they're doing, with all this demon fighting, the demon hunting. Very good game that it is like I didn't know if I should put this one this high because it is kind of a remake. But the original was never released for a Nintendo device, so this is the first
Oh,
time any of us have been able to play it here on the Switch too, and totally worth the wait.
yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense to include it. Absolutely. Yeah. That's awesome.
If we have any young listeners, let us know what your high school's like, and we can see how realistic Persona is here.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned from these games, it's the Japanese high school is a lot different from anything I experienced in the small town Midwest.
Mhm. Yeah.
And to my detriment, high school, I don't know if it's tougher, but it certainly seems like a much more interesting way to grow up than what I did.
Mm. I think I know what your number 1 is, Kirk, but I'm not gonna say it, of course. But I'm pretty
Oh, well, yeah.
sure by process of elimination, I can work out what your number 1 is. But anyway, we'll see if
I,
I'm right.
I bet you'll be able to guess. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Let's circle back to Trev for your number 2 title of the year. What have you got?
Okay, and this is another bump in quality. All these games are obviously so good. Make
Mhm.
my list, but now that we're in the top two, I really had to wrestle, but I have the other Donkey Kong
Ah,
Bonanza,
nice.
which I almost had it number one. When you get this high up, it's like, oh man, what do you do?
Yeah.
And um, it's just such a pleasant surprise, especially after that early footage really didn't wow me.
Mm.
I'm like, what is this? Donkey Kong and this little pebble are like in Minecraft land here. Just but once they had that direct, it just my whole outlook changed. I'm like, oh my goodness, this looks great. And then when I got it in hand, my suspicions were confirmed. I mean, the game is just great, and I had so much fun. I think Gemma, you gave this a 9.5, and
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
mean, I'm close alongside you. I really I can't argue much of that. Um, it's just at its absolute best, Bonanza was my favorite game of the year. Um, Overall, I do have one game ahead of it. But if I was looking at this strictly quote unquote objectively, I know there's no such thing. It's all subjective.
Mhm.
But if I was doing that, I might have this at number one because it was so fun. And this is another one I played in co-op. It's
Mm.
not as good as Hyrule Warriors co-op or even Donkey Kong Country Returns HD for that matter, but it was still a lot of fun and it just had that certain I sound like a cliche, but that certain something magical that
Mhm.
just made me feel like a kid. when I played it. I even enjoyed Donkey Kong's redesign. He looks like classic DK from my childhood. Playing um, the arcade games. So, and
Yeah.
Pauline is awesome too. I mean, what are you waiting for? Um, as you can see, I haven't waited, and I'm gonna guess Gemma hasn't. I don't know about Kirk, but yeah, pick this one up. It's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree so much, Trav, that it is also my number 2 game. So
Oh wow.
yeah, there you go. And you articulated it perfectly. I struggled so much with where to place this one. It was my number 1 for a very long time. In fact, back in July when I played it and reviewed it, I was like, this is my number 1 game. This is it. This is the number 1 game of the year. So yeah, you can probably guess what number 1 is now, as I can probably guess yours too. But this one, yeah, it took me by surprise. I agree with you. I didn't necessarily love what I saw in that initial direct. I was like, "Where's Mario?" But Donkey Kong blew me away. This is like you said, it does make you feel like a little kid. It's so colorful, vibrant. Another great soundtrack.
Mm,
Pauline is fantastic. I've never loved Pauline. She's been fine, but she's just so cool in this. She's such a cool little cute character.
yeah, she's got
Yeah.
personality
Yeah.
that grown up Pauline never really had a chance to show a whole
Yeah.
lot of.
Absolutely. Every time, when you rest, when Donkey Kong has his little rest in the hammock with her, and the things that she
Yes.
said, I have to read what she says because it's just so adorable. She is so cute and
It's
sweet.
funny you say that. I thought for sure she was eventually going to start like either repeating or not saying anything. And I feel like every time we slept, she said something fresh.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I love that, and her voice, the voice actor was terrific. Donkey Kong's design,
Mm,
like you said, his design is great. I love the design. I love all the costumes you can get, and they also have abilities that come with them as well, so you can chop and change. Do you go based on how he looks or what it does for you? Like, gives you extra, vanadium or whatever it is, yeah,
yeah.
or helps you swim fast or whatever it is. The transformations were really fun. They didn't feel just like added on. They actually contributed to the story, and the way that you could change between them at any time. Fantastic, so great. And there's so
Mm,
much to do. Like every time you go down another level layer in the game, you're like, "What's next? What's the next layer going to be like?" And then it's
yeah.
just completely different. Like there was that junk layer, the trash layer, whatever it was called. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is just so creative. This is like they just went to town. Honestly, it's definitely one of the most creative games. And yeah, like you said, it could easily have been number 1 for me, and very very nearly was. Very 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 close there. So yeah, absolutely. As Trev said, if you haven't played this, definitely get it. It's so much fun. So thank you, Trev.
I
And
can't
that's
believe you picked Welcome Tour over Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Well, I don't know, that just really wowed me, didn't it? So, yeah.
You may be interested to know too that Justin also had Donkey Kong Bonanza at number 2.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, look at us in sync.
Kirk, I
Just
don't
needed
want to
back
put
there.
peer pressure on you, but if everyone else is playing it.
Yes.
Yeah, got to give in. Got to give
Gotta give
in.
in. No one in your family was interested in picking that up, Kirk?
No, I'm the only one in my family who got any Switch games for Christmas this year.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Radio. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, without spoiling anything, the story does hit some kind of dramatic notes where you're like,
Mm.
whoa. So,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
uh,
Thank you, Trev. So now we've on to the game of the year. This is our game of the year. This is the number 1 game that we enjoyed in 2025. So hit us with it, Kirk. What is your number 1 title?
Are you going to guess? Are you going to
Oh,
try
do
to
you want me to
guess?
guess?
Yeah.
It's the 100 Line Defense Academy.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I mean, there were some great games. All these games, for the most part, especially once we hit, I guess, 5 up, could have been, and I would have been happy with it. But I think even back when I played the 100 line and we were talking about it for the first time, I asked if it's too early to pick my game of the year.
Yes.
Not expecting it to stay, but it did.
Mm.
Yeah, the 100 line Last Defense Academy. What a great game this is. It's one of those games where, as I'm playing it, I'm like, the developers had me in mind personally.
Yeah.
when they put this out. Like sometimes you get that with movies. You're at the theater and about an hour in, you're like, finally, they made a movie specifically for me. That's what they did with the 100-line Last Defense Again,
Nice.
which is weird because it's mostly like a visual novel. That's not the kind of thing I'm really into. But they surround it with absolutely fantastic and really new, unique turn-based battles. I like those systems. People tinker with it. Different developers do it different ways, but they brought things that we've never, or at least I've never seen before. Like, for instance, it's good to kill your team while
Mm.
you're on the battlefield because that can unleash powers for other people. And though the person that you sacrifice more or less will get picked up and taken back and can join you again in the next fight. So it's a strategy decision to actually sacrifice people on the field. But again, a crazy, crazy anime based kind of group of characters, uh, really hamming up the different tropes that are out there. Very
Yeah.
funny. But it's also very serious at times and occasionally disturbing. And it has dozens and dozens and dozens of endings. So the first time you play it, you're kind of going through the story the way they plan. Then it allows you to go back, kind of like the nonary games like 999 and Zero Time Escape,
Mm.
where you could go back to where you made a decision, make a different decision, and play until that path is done, and
Cool.
then go back to a different decision and play that path until that path is done. So you could keep going, and if parts that get repetitive, you could skip the battles rather than do them again. If the battles are different, you could play them out, or there are so many different, like there's a board game in it where you're kind of moving around a board and picking your path and going into battles and trying to get different elements that you could use for various power ups. It's just insane, but all very approachable and it all makes sense within the story. There's nothing where you ever have to stop and think, wait, why am I doing this? What's going on here? It all makes sense and it's all explained well. And it's just a joy from start to finish.
Amazing. I love that. That's so cool. And this one has a free demo, which I did try. So I know a little bit what you mean because I played the demo back at the time and can understand why you like it. The characters, like you said, they are crazy, honestly. You get introduced to them so early on and it's like bam, 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 all these characters. Yeah. But I like the style of it too, like that stylistic anime look of it. I think it's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
has a very interesting look that kind of blends video games with anime in a way that
Yeah.
doesn't sort of like go one direction or the other. It's kind of in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
but cool. Although, and I want to point out, since you mentioned there's a demo, curiously, on the eShop right now, it says the game's not available, at least in the
Oh,
US.
really?
There's a big not available thing there. Now, it still says I can download the demo, but even there's a definitive edition
Ah,
or digital deluxe edition that says it's not available either. So I don't know what's going on with the game right now.
that's weird.
If you're listening to this and that's still the case, maybe be patient. Hopefully it's solved by then.
It's coming up for me on the website, but because I was going to say it's on discount at the moment. So if you like the sound of it, based on what Kirk has described, it's 30%
Okay,
off right now. So, and that's not,
maybe just
yeah,
a US issue then.
yeah, maybe because it's definitely 30% off in Australia and the US, but I don't know
Okay.
why it's having those eShop issues. Hopefully that's just a glitch.
Yeah.
Because I've heard other people talk about this game as well. Like you're not alone, Kirk. This is a well-received game, that's for sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
they took it down so they can add a little banner that says Pure Nintendo #1.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Maybe
Exactly.
they're good. A big sign that says we made this just for Kirk.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
oh, you know what? Here, I just went to the Nintendo eShop where I'm not logged in, and it does say that it's available and 30% off. So maybe,
Whew.
usually, if I go to a game I've already downloaded, it'll say you've already downloaded this game,
Mhm.
not available. So that threw me, but it looks like it is still available in
Okay.
the US.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, and the sale doesn't end till I think the 8th of January or something. So plenty of time. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. Even I'm considering because like I said, I played the demo, I did enjoy it. I have considered getting the full game because of your recommendation as well. So yeah, we'll see. It's on my wish list, put it that way. And that's how I noticed it was on sale. So, but I haven't got it yet. Thank you, Kirk. That's awesome. That's your number one. Love it.
That is.
Let's move on to Trev. And do you want me to guess yours also? Or do you want to just reveal it yourself?
You can guess if you like.
Is it Pokemon Legends ZA?
You are correct. Pokemon Legends ZA, which I I played on Switch too. This is another one that's also on Switch, so everybody can experience it. Um, yeah, this was so subjective, but
Mm-hmm.
I I feel like Donkey Kong is maybe the better game, but at the end of the day, ZA is just one I had a little bit more fun with,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what these lists are. These aren't really like best games. There's nothing definitive about this. These are all our individual preferences, and um, I mean, heck, I mean, look at this game on Metacritic. It's in the mid 70s. I mean,
Oh.
that's which is still recommended, but
Mm.
nowhere near as high as me. I gave it a 9, and honestly, I probably could have gone a bit higher because just looking at fun,
Mm-hmm.
um, this was it. Yeah, the visuals could have been better. I don't like DLC announced before the game's even out. That rubs me the wrong way. But at the end of the day, the fun just edges out everything else, and not just everything else that I can pick on for this game, but every other game I played this year. I had the most fun in 2025 playing Pokemon Legends ZA, and my wife too, for that matter. And I keep in mind, I'm not a Pokemon enthusiast by any stretch. I have not played all the games. I haven't watched the show. I don't collect the cards, but this just did it. And I was somewhat optimistic because Arceus, that was the runner-up for me the year it came
Mm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are, returning to Lumio City, which is bigger and better than ever, and it's taken my top spot from Bonanza and from Mario Kart and Prime 4, and yeah, I'm both surprised and I'm not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just go back to that one word, fun,
Yeah.
fun, and that's review acumen. We always try to break down graphics and music and content and all this, but yeah, at the end of the day, I had the most fun playing this. Again, read my review if you like. I mean, most of these games we talked about, if not all, have review coverage
Mm-hmm.
on the site or in the mag, whether from me or Gemma or Kirk or others. But yeah, don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, even if you don't have a Switch 2, pick it up on Switch 1
Yeah.
and pick
Yeah.
up Metroid and, for that matter, on Switch 1 and experience some of the best games, some of my favorite games from this year.
Absolutely. Thank you, Trev. That's a great number one. Do you want to guess my number one?
Uh,
I mean, it's
I would say the Galaxy Duo, but they are ports.
no. I did. They were in my top 10 at some point. I had to take them out to
Oh,
make room for something else. But it's Pokemon Legends EA as well.
oh my
Y-
goodness!
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I knew you were playing it, but I wasn't sure.
Oh no,
Wow.
you hit the nail right on the head. And I struggled with this so much. That's why Donkey Kong was my number one for a long, long time. Because I started writing this list months ago, but I've just been chopping and changing it. But Pokemon Legends, I put number one a couple of weeks ago because,
Oh my
yeah, I
goodness.
realized I was just having, like you said, the word fun, honestly. I just want
Wow.
to keep playing it. Every day I was just so excited to get back into Lumiere City and keep playing. I just wanted to enjoy it more.
Listeners, keep in mind we didn't see each other's list.
No,
Well, except for Kirk.
no.
But
And I swear I did not change it. So it was number one the whole time sitting here watching. So
wow.
yeah, it's been there. And yeah, I just 100% agree. I think, yeah, Donkey Kong, I feel like I robbed Donkey Kong Bonanza from the number one spot a little bit because it is technically a better game, like visually maybe and all that sort of thing. But and I did have fun with Donkey Kong Bonanza, don't get me wrong. Obviously, it was my number two game. But yeah, this one, the last few months since it came out in October, because I did pick it up day one, I've just been playing it a lot, and I really wanted to finish it. I really wanted to level up my ranks. I really wanted to level up my Pokemon. I've been trying to get all the Pokemon in the wild zones and do all the missions. And I think the difference between a lot of especially games like Silk Song, which I said was really hard, and even I said Hades 2 is hard and Ball Pit's hard. Pokemon is not that hard. Like, I've died a few times during some of the mega evolve battles, but you just kind of do them again. But I love
Yeah.
that it's not that hard. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be fun. And I have had so much fun with it. Yeah, I just, I don't know what else to say. You really hit the nail on the head with that one. You really described it
Oh
perfectly.
man.
Yeah. It's,
I'm curious,
yeah.
Kirk, not to interrupt you, Gemma, but did Justin have this one on his list?
He did. Can you guess where?
4?
Uh, I'll guess top 5.
You're both no. He added at 3. I was going to say you're
Uh,
both right, but Gemma just said 4, so clearly
Uh,
that's not
yeah,
right.
I thought
I'm like,
But
if
yeah,
you had
yeah,
3.
Metroid at 1, I was trying to remember.
that's right. I thought we knew what his 3
Yeah,
was, but we didn't. We knew 1 and 2. Was it at
Yeah,
Metroid and was it Donkey Kong?
yeah. Metroid, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Pokemon
There
Legends.
you go.
wow,
It's a good top 3. It's a good top 3.
my goodness.
Yeah. No,
Again, we gotta bring Kirk into the fold here.
yeah, I know. I know, and
Do I
like
need to be? It seems like it's getting enough love already.
yeah. I like that Kirk gives us the games that we aren't playing, which, you know, that's great. But like you, Trev, I haven't played most of the Pokemon games, honestly. I haven't played a lot of them. I didn't play Arceus, for example. I definitely played Violet, Scarlet, and yeah, I wasn't really a collector of the cards. My kids are. I've watched the anime, but yeah, it's not like I'm a diehard Pokemon fan. I am more so now. Like I've grown definitely to love Pokemon over the years, mostly thanks to my kids, though. Really, they were into it, so I was into it, and now I'm just so glad I am because yeah, this has turned out to be such a fantastic game. I just can't wait for
Wow.
more. Have you got the DLC, by the way?
I did not get the DLC yet just because I'm totally wrapped up in Metroid right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
fair enough. Yeah. Honestly, that is the
but
problem, isn't it? There's not enough time to play all of these games. Like, I want to get back into Horror Warriors. I definitely have not
yeah,
finished that one. So that's something I want to play over the holidays. I finished Pokemon Legends EA, but I haven't. I've got the DLC. I haven't finished that, so that's what I'm working on next. And plus, there's all those missions and wild zones to finish. Yeah, there's heaps to do. So, and I just want
yeah.
to keep
Oh
doing it.
man, some of
Yeah,
those zones, I'm like, I could not find the last like. I'm like, it still says I'm at like 90% or
I
whatever. Like,
know. I know.
it's like,
I just want to tick it off.
I'm like, where are they? I've been here every time of day, every weather. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I know. Some of them are hard. Like, some of
Uh,
them, it's just like, oh, you just have to go at night or whatever. And then there's some that just disappear as soon as you go near them, and, you're like, "How do I catch you?"
And it's like I've got the greatest, like, the upgraded like Pokeball. Like, I'm like, how are they breaking out of this?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like,
Yeah.
uh,
Exactly. Wow, so that's
that's where
it.
the challenge lies. It's
Yeah,
less about the main game. It's more
that's
about being a
it.
completion.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's it. 100%. Yeah, and the characters are really cool. I think the story was really nice as well. I really enjoyed following that story and seeing where it led us. All the different groups that we met along the way, like the Rust Syndicate, the dojo, whatever the fighting dojo is called, like all those little
Yeah,
different groups of people that all came together at the end. It was just really nice. I really liked it. Yeah,
yeah.
really, really
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah, look at that. So we had the same number 2 and 1 there, Trev, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, very nice. That's amazing. So that's our top 10 games for the year. I can't believe the year is over. It was a big year. There was a lot to play, a lot of great games out there. Did anyone have any like honorable mentions or anything they wanted to throw in there?
Well, I'm sure I did, but I didn't write them down, so
That's
I'd have to
okay.
dig back through all my reviews to find out which ones didn't quite make it.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have any honorable mentions, Trev, that you wanted to throw out there?
Oh boy, I do feel bad I didn't have more like I said, like indie games, third party
Mm,
games.
mhm.
I reviewed
Yeah,
a game earlier in the year called Old Skies. It was kind of a like time travel mystery where you try to go back and
yeah.
um, fix things. That had some excellent voice acting, and I think that had a lot of it did a lot of things right, but it just didn't quite make my list.
Mhm. Yeah. It's tough, it's
But
tough. I mean, like I said, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 could have been in there for me, but I had to make way for other games. That was probably an honorable
yeah,
mention.
I mean, there's so many Switch 2 editions. Like I loved Mario Party and Tears of the
Mhm.
Kingdom, but it's like I didn't want to, you
Yeah.
know, they've already made my list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
uh,
it. Yeah, well, a couple of other indie games worth mentioning, I think. Is This Seat Taken was a nice one from a few months ago.
oh yeah,
Hurdling I only gave an 8, but it was just one of those games that left an impression on me. It was a very short runtime, but it just visually looked really lovely. That was a Switch 1 game. You would have remembered me talking about that on the show as well.
mm.
Yeah, a couple of ones there. Luck Be a Landlord was just a crazy little one that I spent a lot of time with earlier in the year. So, yeah. And of course, Street Fighter 6 and Yakuza, they were launch games that Capcom that we
Oh,
reviewed
yeah.
on behalf of Capcom. They were really nice. They were really good entries. Really solid Switch 2 titles as well, but just didn't make the cut for the top 10, sadly. But very well. I reviewed them both, and they both got really good scores. So definitely worth checking out. So yeah, that's it, I guess. Anything else to add? I can't believe we made it to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made a good point though, like with the Hurlings game, like you gave it an 8, but it was memorable. I feel like there's a lot of games I gave an 8 to, which is still a good score, but maybe didn't make my list. But yeah, they were still memorable, and I feel like you almost could do like a top 15
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Easily. Yeah.
like,
It's been a good
especially
year.
now it's like, I feel like Switch 1 releases earlier in the year, maybe they get forgotten about
Mm.
because the second half of the year has been Switch 2, but there's still a lot of great games and still great games coming even in 2026. So hopefully we
Yes.
won't overlook them.
Yeah, exactly. I know. There's a lot to look forward to.
Did
All the
Justin have
games that made
anything?
my list. Oh yeah, actually, let me pull up Justin's here. All the
I didn't
games that
even.
made my lists were 8.5 or higher.
Mhm.
Wow.
So it was a good year for that. But yeah, if I went back down to 8, then I'd be here for a while shuffling through to make decisions.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Um,
seven of my 10 were 8.5 or higher.
I think all of
yeah,
mine were. Mm.
Justin had some games here that we didn't mention that may
Ooh.
be worth going through really quickly.
Okay, sure.
Well, he had Donkey Kong Country Returns HD at 10.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Number 9 was Cyberpunk 2027
Oh,
Ultimate
yeah.
Oh,
Edition.
Okay. Mhm.
yeah. Forgot about that one.
8 was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4.
Nice.
That makes sense. I knew he liked those.
And 7, I've seen this elsewhere. Some other people had this on. I'm surprised none of us did. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time.
Oh, do you know what? I almost picked that up during the week for that reason. It's on special. I've been waiting all year for it to go on sale. It's on sale right now. It's like 20% off, I think. And I very, very nearly picked it up. I picked up Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD instead, which also I could have probably snuck onto the list, but it was probably not as good as the other games that I chose. But yeah, Fantasy Life, I might have made my list if I played it.
Same thing with me. Yeah, if I had picked it up, I almost picked up. It got a physical release in some region, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could pick up that because I didn't want to pay that much for just a digital copy, but
Mm-hmm.
I ended up not getting it. But
Yeah.
same, if I had played it, I bet you it would have made my list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At 6, he had Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition.
Cool.
So
Wow,
he
there's
scored
another
that higher than you and I both, Trev.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is when we got to get Gemma in now.
Yeah.
on Xenoblade.
Yeah.
Yep, see?
Yeah.
I'm not the outlier this time. 5 was Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
4 was Mario Kart World, and then the other 3 we've already discussed.
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good list too.
That is a great list. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for showing
It'll
that.
be interesting when we get them all, like, to figure out as the team collectively, like our top 10.
Yes. So that's
Yeah.
the next step. So stay tuned for that. We'll post our top 10, official Pure Nintendo top 10 on our website and on social media. So yeah, look forward to that one. You guys got anything else you wanted to add? Like, this is our last episode of the year, so we're probably going to take a week off. Listeners, thank you for joining us this year. It's been such a big year. Like, honestly, we love the support that we get from all of our listeners. Thank you so much for the comments throughout the year, the engagement. It really, really, really means a lot to us. Like, it really does. So thank you. We hope everyone's
We want to
having...
know your top 10,
Absolutely. Yeah. Let us
especially
know.
if there's games we missed, like,
Mhm.
because we can only cover so many.
Yeah, that's it.
That's-
Yeah. Yeah, that's 100% it. So thank you. Yeah, we're going to take a week off. So we'll be back in 2 weeks for our new season for 2026. So stay tuned for that. Don't miss us too much, but we will return bigger and better in 2026. Thank you. Yeah, both of you guys as well, Trev and Kirk, for joining me pretty much every week. Honestly, it's a lot, but we have a lot of fun. So we hope
And
that...
thank you, Gemma, for doing the bulk of the work.
Yeah.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It's fun. It's
So,
good fun.
Trevor and I just have to get on and be goofy. You,
Yeah.
you have to actually do things.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's all good fun. No, it's been a great year. It's been a huge year. I'm very excited for what 2026 might bring. But if you will miss us over the next 2 weeks and you can't get enough of Pure Nintendo, you can always head on over to our website, purenintendo.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky as well. And of course, we are putting together the next issue of our magazine. So if you would like a physical copy sent to you directly to your mailbox, this is for US and Canadian listeners only. Sorry at this stage. Stay tuned for an update though, because I'm looking into how I can get it into Australian hands next year. So that will be a big thing that I'm going to work on. But head on over to patreon.com/PureNintendo and you can join the list for our next issue. But yeah, anything else you guys wanted to add before we close things off for the last time this year?
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Good old acquaintance. I don't know the lyrics, actually.
No. It just makes me think of Teen Titans. Did you see that episode when they were singing? Maybe Kirk. Do you remember that one? No?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember a lot from Teen Titans.
I know, right?
That's my Simpsons. As far as
Yeah,
cartoons
I think
go.
that's my kid's Simpsons too, because every time something comes up, like Predator or something random, they haven't seen Predator. It's too violent for them at their age, but they're like, "Oh, that's from Teen Titans." Like,
Well, we should specify Teen Titans Go. The
oh yeah,
actual
sorry.
Teen Titans,
Teen
the
Titans
real
Go.
Teen Titans fans would be furious with us
Yes, that is true.
if we didn't distinguish.
Teen Titans Go.
Oh, I was going to
That's what I meant.
say, I've seen Go. I don't really.
Yeah.
Now I have to
Oh
rewatch
yeah,
it.
it's a very funny Predator episode. Yeah,
Oh.
it's all good. All right. Well, with that random side note, thank you. Thank you so much for joining this year. Please leave us a message and we will see you again in 2 weeks' time. Until then, game on, everybody. Bye.